You're listening to eLearn Chat, where talk is knowledge.
Hello and welcome to eLearn Chat, our new podcast featuring prominent leaders, shakers and movers in the e-learning and training industry. My name is Riggs Zanotti, and I'll be your host for these chats. We start the series with Trish Uhl, president of Owl's Ledge in Chicago. I think you'll find her very interesting.
Trish, how are you today?
I'm very well, Rick. Thanks. How you doing?
I am doing great. I'm so grateful you could come and join us. Tell us a little bit about what Owl's Ledge does.
We are a learning and performance and project management consulting firm. We started about 6 years ago, and we used to, our portfolio of core offerings were very similar to a lot of other people in learning and performance. We used to do a lot of instructional design and e-learning authoring and instructor-led facilitation. I spent a lot of my own time on really, large-scale, enterprise-wide IT initiatives. My background is originally as a software trainer. But now we've actually pivoted, and what we're doing now is something that we were doing on the side for the past 4 years and have made it, as of this summer, our full-time endeavor. And that is actually helping people operationalize the ASTD competency model. And so as part of that, a lot of our core offerings are around helping organizations and individuals be successful in the CPLP, which is the Certified Professional in Learning and Performance. It's the CPLP credential from ASTD, and it's helping not only, again, individuals as candidates be successful in the certification process, but helping organizations understand what the value is for getting their people certified.
Now, who is your typical audience for getting a CPLP? And I'll be honest, I didn't know what a CPLP was. I've seen it a lot of times, and I come from also the kind of the ERP world in the old days where we had APICS certification. But CPLP sounded familiar, and I go, okay, what is it? I looked at your website, I go, aha, how did I miss this? So what is it good for, and who would benefit the most from it, and what would what would the accomplishment be once they got it?
So here's the really quick rundown on the CPLP certification. So it was started by ASTD, which is the American Society for Training and Development. And ASTD has been a professional association advocating for the learning and performance profession since the 1940s. And so what they did was in 2003, they ran a global study. And ASTD has actually been putting together competency models for the learning profession for 20 some odd years. Right. And so the global study that they did around 2002, 2003 was what they wanted to know was, with as fast as the world is changing. I mean, we've got globalization, we've got technology, we've got accelerated change. What was going to be required of learning and performance professionals then? What was going to happen in the next 5 years, and what was going to happen within the next 10 to 15 years out. So they ran this global study, and they used the inputs, or they used the research from that study as inputs into the competency model that they published in 2004. And so that competency model, you can actually find all the background research, how they did the research. They partnered with DDI, who was involved in the study, and so on and so forth. What methodology did they use, and all of that kind of stuff. It's published in a book that's called Mapping the Future. You can find it for half price now on the half.com and that kind of thing. And anyway, that competency model that they developed and published in 2004 became the basis of the CPLP credential. So the CPLP is actually founded in the competency model. And so, as many people know, competency models are the skills and knowledge that define a profession. And so the significance, again, ASTD had been doing competency models for quite some time at that point, but the significance of this one was that the decision was made by the ASTD National Board to go ahead and move forward with a certification that would be broad in scope, meaning that it would have application for people in different parts of the learning and performance industry, because of course we've got people that are moving and shaking and doing all sorts of different things that are considered learning professionals. And so the reason why they went down this path is because, according to the U.S. Department of Labor, you need 5 things in order to be considered a profession rather than an occupation. And one of those things is a credentialing program.
Okay.
So that was, aside from it, it's certainly going to be a revenue generator for ASTD. I mean, make no mistake about it. But the long-term view of the certified professional in learning and performance and the competency model that it's founded on was to get us actually listed as learning and performance as a profession rather than an occupation.
Interesting. That makes sense.
And so now we're about, so the competency model was published in 2004. The pilot for the certification was from 2005 to 2006. So the certification is only operationally about 3 years old. And next year here in the United States is a 2010 census. And because of the CPLP certification and ASTD lobbying the U.S. Department of Labor, will be listed as a profession.
That's great.
So yeah, it's very exciting for us. I mean, we're an emerging profession, and it's like we're going through a learning renaissance.
Well, it's funny because I keep saying this is the oldest new profession probably in the last 40 years. We keep saying it's a new profession, but it's been around a long time. It's just that I think we finally caught up with the technology finally caught up with us.
Well, I think it's the technology and it's the changes, it's the changes that are happening in the world today. I mean, you've got a lot of people that have pegged this for a long time. Stephen Covey, Peter Drucker have, for 30 years been calling about what was going to happen when we crossed into the 21st century. And, we are really at this point in time in the same major shift as when we came out of the, farming, came out of the agricultural age and moved into the industrial age. And as we move now, we're not even in the information age anymore, and we're certainly far from the industrial age. And as we move into this new global economy, and people have a bunch of different names for it right now, it's that big of a shift. And so the workforce worldwide has different skills that are required of it, different knowledge that's required of it. And so it's incumbent upon us, this is our legacy as learning professionals, this is what we're here to do, is to help other people in the industries and the professions that they serve be ready for these changes.
That's right. You provide a seatbelt with the CPLP?
Right, exactly, yeah. Some airbags,
that's right.
Side airbags, a shotted jack on the other side.
Because it's going to be a wild ride.
It's going to be a wild ride. It already is a wild ride. I mean, there's a lot of literature that's out there, and it's interesting to me because if you look at, I don't care, what guru you look at in just about any profession today, they're all on the same page. They're talking about the same things. They're just approaching it from different angles.
Right.
And it's no different for us. And so to me, going back to, so what is the value of the CPLP certification? Well, the value of the CPLP certification is the competency model. And the competency model provides us with a standard framework and common language that we as learning professionals can use in order to really set a vision, put roadmaps together, and help the organizations that we serve and the people that we serve in those organizations to really make this leap forward. Because it's hard on everybody right now. It's hard on everybody.
Need help with your e-learning development? Visit www.relate.com.